Hey everyone, I am Diana, and this is my battle buddy Jess. Welcome back to episode 18 of
Unfiltered and unarmored.
We're Just Two Women Veteran out here trying to figure out life after the military. Healing, unlearning, laughing through the chaos, and trying to care for our mental health without pretending we're fine every freaking 5 minutes.
Because military women are really good at saying, I'm good.
Too fucking good. We'll be exhausted, overwhelmed, super overstimulated, and silently fucking falling apart, but we still be like, I'm good. I'm just tired.
But sometimes it's not just tired.
You're right, Jess. Sometimes it's anxiety, we're depressed, our PTSD is triggered, we're fucking burnt the hell out. Sometimes it's just years of pushing everything down because we were taught to keep on going. So, today we're talking about mental health for women in the military and veterans, the quiet struggles, the pressure to be strong, the stigma between PTSD and everything that we go through, the healing process, and asking for help does not make us weak. All right, Des, how's your day going?
I think it's going well. It's finally raining after we had the hottest fucking days of summer. I thought all the plants were going to die, but now it's like saturating them because it's raining so much. But that's okay. Whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine.
That's what we really say, huh? Now, my week
Mhm.
has been crazy. And if you follow us in the Facebook group, you know that the little cartoons that I be posting, those are how my week is going. It's chaotic,
Mhm.
but I deal with it.
Yep. It's real.
Very real. All right, so let's start with something that a lot of military women know how to say very well. And you just said it, girl. I'm fine. And listen, sometimes we really are fine, but a lot of times we're absolutely not fine. We are tired, overworked, and overwhelmed. Sometimes we're just stressed out, burned out between working, the household, everything. And on top of that, we get overstimulated, whether it's hormones or just having a shitty ass day. And we're trying not to snap on somebody. And still, when someone asks us what's wrong, we say, I'm fine. I'm just a little bit tired. In the military, we learn really quick how to keep on moving, keep on pushing through, and never to complain because we're strong enough to handle anything that they give us on a daily basis. But sometimes it really does become a habit when you're turning your pain and your struggle into telling people that you're okay or that you're fine when you're really not. Even when you really need the help, Jess, because I know sometimes it's hard for us women to ask for help. It can be really, really hard.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah. It took a lot more strength for me to ask for help for my mental health than it did for me to ask for help on even the hardest thing that the military threw at me. So, yeah, I totally get that.
I think we women can handle anything. I mean, shoot, we handle a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
But for some reason, we feel like we have to prove that we're strong, that we're
Mm.
not weak. We don't want to be labeled that's emotional all the time.
Mhm.
And we need to stop saying and stop normalizing that we can handle everything
Right.
because sometimes we just can't handle it. We just put so much on our back to try to take care of everybody. And we're like, oh, we're good. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
But that fine and good, sometimes it really means that you could be falling apart and you're not telling anybody.
Mhm.
And this is very real because I tend to do that. I have to
Yeah.
be there for my parents, for my husband, for my friends, for everybody, but nobody really thinks about, like, hey, are you good? So I just end up feeling like everybody dumps their emotions on me. And then when I explode, then I'm the problem.
Yep.
So they don't
Yeah.
even freaking ask me if I'm the one that's falling apart. I don't know if it happens to you ladies or not, but sometimes I feel like we women carry so much stuff that everybody automatically assumes that we can handle everything. But they never sit
Mhm.
down and say, hey, are you good? Even your kids don't ask you, hey, mom, you good? Or your husband, like, hey, I see that you're having a hard time today. Are you good? I feel like they keep on dumping and dumping. Then if you have your parents, they dump their shit on you. And all you can say is like, I'm good. But are you really good? So I have a question for you, ladies, but of course, Jess is going to answer it. Jess, do you think military women are so quickly to say, I'm fine before they could
Uh,
ask for help or anything else?
oh, yeah, totally. I mean, there's a meme. It's like, "I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine." And then there's, like, a dumpster fire behind it. My friend Amanda actually has the dumpster fire. It's fucking hilarious. But at the same time, I feel like I'm fine. For me, it's a cry for help for someone else because there are so many expectations put on women from society, from family expectations. We're expected to be strong. We're expected to be these superwomen or Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
We're expected to be these strong, amazing women that can tackle anything. And that's why, like what you were saying, these extra things are thrown at us because we look like we have our shit together all the time. Because we have to. Because if we falter or if we're like, you know what? Hey, stop. I can't give it to Joe over there or Bob, then, shit's gonna go sideways and people are gonna start talking mad shit about us. The way that I'm explaining it is not great. But if we don't carry that heavy load, then people look at us sideways like there's something wrong with her. That same thing would not be put on a man. No man is ever expected to carry the kind of load that we are, ever.
Yeah, that is true. And honestly, you have to be honest with the persons that you live with and say, I'm going to take a mental health day today. I am
Yeah.
not okay. Today I'm struggling. I don't care if anybody judges me. And before I freaking go crazy in a freaking spectacular way, I need to freaking take care of myself and my needs too. But it's so hard to explain how we feel, until our eye starts twitching and our patience is completely gone. And we're just one email from disappearing into the woods and saying, fuck it all.
Mhm. Yes.
Fuck it all. So, with that being said, Jess, have you ever said you're okay when you're completely not okay? Just to make somebody else feel better?
There are more times in my life where I said that I was okay and not being okay than when I said I was not okay and being not okay. Meaning, fuck yeah. Most times, if someone's like, "Are you okay?" My automatic response is going to be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And it's not gonna
Mhm.
be true. Unless someone can call my bullshit, meaning I trust them enough to be in my inner circle where I know that they are genuine about me, period,
Yeah.
then, yeah, my answer is gonna be, "I'm fine," because whatever is going on with me, I can't let you in. So, yes, more times than not.
I always say, yeah, I'm good. I say I'm good. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. But sometimes I'm good is when I'm tired or overwhelmed. Like, for example, you go to the VA and they ask you, how do you feel? Well, I'm having a fucking rough day. I really want to fucking run away from my house. I don't give a fuck about what's going on in my house. I don't care about this. I don't care about my children's. I just need a fucking hug from somebody. I don't need to go to fucking therapy. I want a cup of coffee and I want to be left the fuck alone for 24 hours. But you really can't say that because then people are going to think you're crazy, you
Yep.
know? So you get to the point as a woman keeps saying, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. But the hell, we're not fine.
Right.
Sometimes we're fucking angry. And then that's when our body starts reacting to it because then you start crying. You have panic attacks that people don't see. You start getting anxious. We get irritated about everything. And then we start feeling numb. And once we get to that place, that's it. We're tired. We're shutting down.
Yeah.
And we should not allow ourselves to get to that point because sometimes it's a lot harder to get from there. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, Jess, and audience, of course, do you think women are afraid of what would happen if they were to admit that they're struggling?
100%. It's funny that you said crazy. There is a stigma out there, and it is a generational stigma. If a woman shows her emotions, regardless of what the fucking emotions are, if you're too happy, too sad, or too angry, or whatever, we're crazy bitches, period. If we let our armor down and tell someone, you know what, I can't fucking do this anymore, we're crazy bitches. We're not strong in the eyes of society. We aren't strong for saying, I can't do this shit anymore. We are crazy bitches. In my mind, you're a strong motherfucking bitch if you're saying, I can't do this anymore. I need help. Because I mean, that's what we're here exposing. But I just
Mhm.
want to say that stigma is not only generational, but it's fucking sexist as hell. What do you call a man that's the same way? And ladies, gentlemen, I love me a dude, okay? My partner is a man. But let's put this shit into perspective. What do you call a man that is going through the exact same thing? And he's like, fuck you, man. I'm fucking done with this shit. Other men, and probably women, they're going to be like, fuck yeah. He just stood up for himself. They're not going to be like, oh, that's a crazy motherfucker or that's a crazy bitch. No. So that's my answer. Amen.
I think you're absolutely correct. I think the stigma is completely different, and it makes it feel like we're the difficult one because then we're afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're afraid of being called weak and called out like we're the ones fucking up. We're afraid of what people are going to think about us. Like, seriously, like, are they going to think I overreacted? One of the stigmas that you said is that we do get treated differently.
Yeah.
And that's just not fucking cool. And if you're a military woman on service right now, we speak about this all the time. You have a heavy load on you. And even as a veteran, when you
Hmm.
come out, you fear that everything that you went through, nobody's really going to understand you. What you're going through, you're afraid to fucking speak your truth. It's just going to be turned around into some crazy shit, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
So that's why I feel like it's scary to admit that we're actually struggling, but we need to
Yeah.
normalize the fact that it's okay. We women struggle. We might
Hmm.
struggle opening a jar because that's one of my struggles. Like my hands don't work as good, but trying to open a jar and I struggle. But what's the point of if I could ask somebody for help?
Hmm.
It does not make me weak for asking for help, you know?
No.
And sometimes we all have freaking hard days where we just freaking want to run away from the whole world. And we need to
Hmm.
stop normalizing saying that we're just fine. And we need to be honest with ourselves as well because sometimes being strong is exhausting. It gets fucking overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes
Yeah.
you just need that support from somebody. If it's from another woman, if it's from your spouse, your children, maybe even another veteran that just sits down and understands you, it's okay to ask for help. And that's why I think as veteran women, we unify because we understand what the other one is going through. And we're trying to normalize it here in the podcast that we need to ask for help
Yeah.
because you never know who can hear us and could be in the same boat and they're like, you're right, we need to ask for help.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if we're falling apart, take the mental day off. Fuck everybody else. Who cares?
Hmm. Yeah.
I know that got a little heavy, Jess. But now we're going to talk about mental health while serving the military because this is very important for the younger generation, women that are still in it because we gone through it. And the culture in the military still exists to today.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about it because serving in the military does cost a lot of mental health. You're a soldier, an airman, a marine, or a seaman 24/7. You don't have a rest day, you know?
Yeah.
So you can't really ask for help. You're going to be judged if you freaking say something. Your leadership is going to look down on you
Yep.
and think that you're weak.
They push those expectations on you.
Of course, they do. And a lot of women already feel like they have to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And then you struggle with mental health. People are really mean to you as a woman. They try you to see how far they can get to you. And you still can't say anything. You have to keep on showing up, keep on doing your job and smiling like everything
Hmm.
is fucking okay. And when people ask you, hey, are you having a bad day? It's like, no, I'm good. Or they fucking say that you're on your cycle.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, she's just a female and she's in that time of the month. And sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're having a hard time. Sometimes you're just overwhelmed with the whole shit that's going on because let's be honest, I love the military. I had great times, but sometimes it overwhelmed the shit out of me.
Mhm.
Sometimes I felt fucking anxious. I was super burned out when we used to go to the field doing weeks of in and out training. It
Mm.
fucking sucked.
Watch that shit.
And not taking showers, like I know I spoke about this before, fucking baby wipes were your best friends, and not being
Uh-huh.
able to take showers or just try to hit the hot spots and move on. All that shit really causes like a lot of tension. And this is a side that people don't see while you're in the military.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then you have your leaders like, oh, were you not performing 100%? I'm like, sir, sergeant, whatever. I'm having a rough day today. Don't you have a rough day? Because when you have a rough day, you fucking go crazy and throw shit around.
Mhm. Yeah, right?
But I'm supposed to put this uniform and be immune to pain. I have to be fucking okay all the time. And then even if I am having a hard time and I'm missing my mom or my husband or my kids or anybody, oh, you're just fucking weak. You shouldn't be here. Or you get fucking marked as you're being difficult. You're not being difficult. You're just being a human and a woman. So, with that being said, Jess, what is a mental health struggle you think women face while they're still serving the military?
This is like a hot topic. I know that this is still happening today because I still make contact with women that are still in the military. I will not ever name names, but the sexual pressure that we feel from men still exists. And what I'm talking about, it could be their presence. Okay, I was a senior NCO. I could always feel when a man was using his maleness to put pressure on me, not physical pressure, but it felt like physical pressure. I know that is probably going to sound weird if it's never happened to you, but it could be like offhanded comments that really fucks with your head. Also, you said this already that we have to do more than our male counterparts. You know, it could be double, triple just to get the same amount of acknowledgement. I don't want to say praise because that's not accurate. It's the acknowledgement. Like I said before, I had to work like 4 times, 5 times, 10 times as hard as my male counterparts. We were all retiring at the same time because we were like,
Yeah.
fuck this shit. I'm out. We were all the same rank, kind of varied in time and service, like when we were going to get out, but it was within months of each other. They checked out. I wasn't allowed to check out. Like, I still had to work my ass off just to be seen as, at their level, who was like, yeah, bruh, I'm just here for the paycheck? And that fucked with me big time.
Being in the military is another monster. And yeah, people always thinking like, you're a woman, you're weaker, but sometimes you're better at, even in PT. I was faster than a lot of the males. I was a little bit stronger than some of the males. I was smarter than most of the NCOs in my career when I was a specialist, a private, whatever. And it was a lot of pressure though. I had to perform to standard. I
Hmm.
couldn't mess up. And if I did, oh, you're shitty ass soldier or you dropped the ball, whatever. And that became with a
Yeah.
lot of fucking pressure. And then the
Yeah.
emotional label. Like for me, I was logistics. I did the supply room. I was thrown in there when I was at E3 in my own supply room. And I had to figure it out. Then they got an NCO and he wanted to be more dominant over me. And you're right, he did suppress me, but he had no idea what was going on.
Hmm.
So at that point, as a female, we work twice as hard and they take the credit for it.
Yes. Yep.
And that shit would piss me off a lot. And then they start acting like you're difficult or you don't know your job. And it's like, no, asshole, you're the one that doesn't know the job. You're the one that's taking credit for what I do. So you fucking start fucking feeling the leadership stress. Then you have the stress at home. Or if you're single, like I was at the time, you start feeling that far away from home is fucking messing with you. So you're at this point, you're emotionally distanced, like you don't want to do anything. And that's what I think a lot of men do to women in the military. They try to break you. So
Yeah.
you get to that level, just coming into work and saying, I'm fine, because
Yeah.
they just want to fucking put you down. So I have another question for you, Jess. Why do you think service members are scared to ask for help?
It is a very good question. For me, in my job, I had a clearance. So the stigma on that was fucking wild. For the first 13 years of my career, until I was actually suicidal, I did not ask for help because I was afraid that it would affect my clearance because that was always pounded into us. If you go to mental health, you're going to lose your clearance. If you lose your clearance, the mission is going to fail. It's going to be all your fault. That pressure was already on me, and I couldn't take the pressure of all of that. And I know that that shit is still happening now, unfortunately. There is far too much emphasis on the mission, like mission first. But what I would tell my people my last 5 years, and I would say, sure, mission first, but people always. So people trump the mission regardless, because you can't do this shit without the people. For me, I was scared to ask for help because my clearance. Another thing could be getting, what actually is wrong with you. I'm a survivor of MST, and, like, not just, like, a little bit. We'll talk about this in another episode, but, like, a lot of it. Some of this shit was public, like, in front of other military members, but if I went to ask for help, I would be on the commander's radar, I would be on the first sergeant's radar, I would be on the base commander's radar, all the base commander leadership because, they have big meetings about it. I've been in these meetings. And it's like, there is no privacy. Probably the biggest fear is of that shit getting out. And that's your business. You don't want your business spread.
No, you don't. You're absolutely correct when it comes to that because when all this shit does happen, you end up being scared. And you're right. Your leadership finds out. It definitely
Hmm.
affects your career because you're trying to have people not talk shit about you or
Hmm.
define you as something that you're really not.
Yeah.
And I feel like instead of them helping you out, they start treating you differently. I know because I went
Yeah.
through something similar and then their first reaction is like, "What did you do?" I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But they threw me through the wolves and all they said is like, "Oh, you're not allowed to work with male soldiers anymore." And I'm like, "How is that even accurate?"
It's bullshit
It is.
because you're getting punished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the one getting punished, not the person that does anything to you or that's spreading the
Mm.
rumors or anything like that. So people
Yeah.
fear that that's going to happen to them because they've seen it happen to somebody else and
Yep.
they stay quiet. Honestly, we need to normalize this. And I do hope that if somebody does listen to this, or if you know somebody that's actually in the military right now, tell them it's okay to reach out. They could reach out to me and Jess, like in one of their social medias, and let us know so we could try to guide you through this stuff. Because honestly, it happened
Yeah.
to us and it shouldn't be happening now. You shouldn't keep running away from the shit that's happening to you. You're able to talk
Hmm.
and somebody needs to help you. So I have another question because this is something that I'm really passionate about because I do have a little brother that's in the military because it happens to women and men all the time. Have you ever seen somebody struggle but try to hide it, especially because you were a senior NCO?
The answer is yes. And I still see it today. I've always tried to be in tune with my people, not to be like nosy as fuck, but get to know them. As a senior NCO, I wanted to make sure that my people were taken care of better than I was. Not to diss any of my prior leadership, I had phenomenal leaders. I also had incredibly disgusting, worthless people that were in leadership positions. But I always tried to get to know people so that I would be able to tell when they're having an off day. I've told you before, I'm very empathetic. I can feel people's feels. That old adage that your feelings are rolling off of you. Yes, I can feel that shit. And I've seen, women especially struggling, sometimes men, and I will ask those hard fucking questions because nobody asked me. There were 2 times I was suicidal in my career. I had one person ask me if I was okay. I love her to pieces, but I would have already been dead, honestly, had I taken my life the night before like I was going to. So I always made sure that I looked for the same signs in other people. Did I miss them? I'm sure I did unintentionally, but I hope there are leaders, NCOs, airmen, sailors, soldiers, Marines that look out for their fellow battle buddies to look for struggle because you don't want to be that person that knows the person that took their own life.
Well, Jess, I'm sorry that you went through all that stuff, and it sucks to say it happens a lot in the military. It really does. I know this is a women's podcast, but it does happen to males too. There's this guy that we were all at the range, and he was in his teens, first year at the military, very shy, but he was an
Mhm.
awkward kind of guy. He really was. I'm cool with awkwardness because I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, you have to be
Mhm.
different. I love that. I'm a very different kind of species myself. When I meet somebody that is weird, I think everybody should be weird and we should normalize that word. But he was getting
Yeah.
bullied by this other girl. And everybody was scared of him because he was like, oh shit, he's suicidal. Is he going to grab a weapon? I pulled him to the side. I said, are you good? He started crying, which is fine. I said, I don't judge you because you're a man and you're crying. I think sometimes you
Mhm.
cry out of frustration or you're just
Mhm.
like so mad that you just wanted to let something out. And I
Yeah.
remember him telling me, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with this girl anymore. She says all this stuff to me, but they made him feel so bad to the point that nobody wanted to be next to this person. I pulled him to the side and I was like, don't let them win. They're just being assholes. Let's go talk to somebody. He ended up being in suicide watch and I did go see him. I felt like what they were doing to him was wrong. Yeah, we come from all different backgrounds, all different kind of sizes, all different things. You know,
Mhm.
you shouldn't bully somebody. And that happens a lot in the military. And that makes me upset. I think that was one of the things that I really did take of my military career that people could be cruel. And maybe that's why I turned to be such an asshole because I'm not going to let anybody bully me.
Yeah.
You know, I did see it a lot with the women too. I'm going to keep it real today. I will defend you to the end if I know that you're going through something. I don't care if I know you personally. I don't care if you're my best friend. If you're going through something, I will do my best to try to help you. And maybe I'm annoying, but I don't think that it's fair for anybody to go through this. My brother's girlfriend is in the military too. And I told her, if you ever come across this, let me know because this is not normal. When you're in the military, you end up being isolated.
Yeah.
I think, especially us women, when something like this happens to us, we end up saying, we're just fine. You're dealing with everything that you've been through, whatever situation happened to you. You have all these feelings, and now you're just trying to hide the pain from everybody because asking for help is so fucking hard. And let's be
Yeah.
honest, they really don't make it easy to ask for help because, like you said, Jess, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? Like in your case, are they going to take your security clearance?
Mhm.
Am I gonna freaking be in a suicide watch? And I think that instead of giving you the help, it actually sucks because it becomes another duty and
Yep.
everybody's gonna be mad that you're putting them through this instead of sitting
Yep.
down and say, you know what, buddy? I'm sorry that you're going through this. Let's be here for you.
Yep.
Now, I want to ask you this because you were a senior CEO. What do you wish leaderships understood about mental health? If you could tell them like today, what would it be?
Like I said, mission first, people always. If you do not focus on putting your people first and allowing them to get better mentally, it's not going to matter if the mission slips or fails or whatever you think it's going to do, because you will end up losing someone from suicide. And it's not just an if, it's a when. When I was deployed, we lost someone to suicide. He was an officer in a sole position. The signs were there. Nobody thought it was going to happen because the mission first. I didn't know him personally, just in passing, but this is serious. It's not if you're going to lose someone, it's when.
Oh, wow. That's definitely deep. I really wish that leadership understood more of mental health because it's not weakness. It's
Yes.
not being lazy or seeking attention or just trying to get out of work. Sometimes you really are struggling with that mental health, and all you need is a little support without nobody judging you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want somebody to listen to you,
Hmm.
to have a place safe to say, you know what? I'm not okay. I do need help. Like I said it before about my husband's first sergeant. I had to do that because my husband's last deployment, he was really bad. But he was lucky I was able to speak out and get him the help that he needed. Some people, they're not that lucky. Some of us don't have anybody. You can see the pattern of these young people. You could see
Yeah.
that now with social media, the younger generation is more self aware, I guess, about this stuff.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's a lot harder on them. But we need to make sure that they're connected because it's going to affect the whole morale of the unit when somebody does something to
Mhm.
themselves. So I think mental health while you're serving looks very different for everybody. It can also look exhausting or pushing through. Like me, when I'm so mentally messed up, I want to put more tasks on myself just not to think about my problem.
Yep.
I'm exhausted, but I keep on pushing through,
Yep.
you know? Sometimes some of us feel angry for small things. You're manifesting that through anger, you know?
Mm.
And then you're
Mhm.
just carrying so much that you're just angry all the time. And people
Yeah.
can see that. Or there's other times where people just feel numb. I've felt numb before where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I want to feel something, but I don't feel anything. And I've been to the point where I watch Hallmark's movies to see if I could fucking feel something, torture myself because I know that once I feel numb, I don't care about anything around me.
Yeah. That's scary.
It's very, very scary. Sometimes I feel that way still, but I
Mhm.
work on it really hard because I still feel
Mhm.
like some people need me. But
Mhm.
at that point, I'm just like, I kind of wash my hands and not let you go.
Yeah.
And I think that we're all scared to get into the medical behavioral health
Mhm.
because then they feel like you're going to get stuck and like you're going to get strapped like in the movies and they're going to tie you up
Yes.
and put you to sleep. But the truth is that it's not really like that. If you really, really need the help and going through something, you need to seek help. The
Yeah.
faster, the sooner, the better. Because it doesn't matter if you're still putting that uniform or you're a veteran and trying to deal with all the stuff that you have. The most important thing is for you to be okay. And getting the
Mhm.
help that you need is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
If you're scared to ask for help, like I said, you could come here, just reach out to us. If anybody needs to talk, they could definitely send us. I think I'm pretty good in our social medias. I will answer you if you
Mm.
need any help.
Yeah.
But just know it's normal. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you what to do or not to do. With that being said, after we get out the military, we're still surviving through our mental health. And it's hard for us as we get older to really talk about it because we dealt with so much already. People think that once we leave the military, everything automatically just gets better for us. It's like, here's your DD 214, and all of a sudden, all your anxiety, all your stress, all your freaking trauma just boom, magically disappears.
Yeah.
It's like, hell no, that shit doesn't work that way. Sometimes leaving the military can be peaceful because of the situations you're in, but
Mhm.
sometimes is the quiet part that we really don't talk about and we carry. You're basically in survival mode right now because you need to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And you need to keep on pushing through because you might have a little one in your house that sees you. You might have to be
Mhm.
pushing for your mother, for your spouse, for your significant other. It doesn't matter who it is, but people see you and people need you.
Yeah.
You get out and your body's like, okay, girl, okay, dude, we need to talk about this because you've been so busy and you've been ignoring all this for so long.
Mhm.
We're not working the same way we were before. Now we're
Mhm.
lost. We feel lonely. We feel disconnected because we had people that were going through the same thing that we were going through. So let's talk about the veteran woman's aftermath, Jess, with this question. What surprised you the most about your mental health after leaving the military?
We had, structure, and all of our time was filled basically when we were in the military. And then when we get out, we get our DD 214. we get our VA disability rating. But I take that uniform off and I realize, fuck, that was my armor. That was my cape. That was my mask for me to be able to go out in public and be this strong person that I'm not. I'm fucking broken. I am struggling to go to fucking Walmart just to grab whatever milk, bread, whatever. I'm a single mom taking care of a senior in high school, and I can't be broken. So I have to fake that shit. But I'm crying inside or crying in my closet or crying in the car. Taking that uniform off, I did not realize that that was my security blanket, my superhero mask that protected me and my mental health. Even though I was publicly having panic attacks at work, literally when I got out, it was like everything was exposed. I felt that everybody could see how broken I was, even though they probably couldn't see everything at the time.
Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely feel that because for me, surprisingly, it was the same thing. For me, it was like my mind was so alert all the time. It's like my brain didn't get the memo that I was out.
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to be free and like get away with everything and do whatever the hell I wanted.
Mhm.
And in some ways I did, but in other ways I felt like I was confused. Cause
Yeah.
now I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? Now I need to look for a job. I don't know where to apply. I'm good at this. Do I keep on going to school? I have all this time in my schedule. And like you say, once you get out the military, I honestly I didn't retire. I did 12, I think 13 years the most. And then I got out. I feel like at that point in my life I was confused because I didn't have the structure anymore. I
Yeah.
didn't have a schedule. I had to make my own schedule. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh my God, you're good. You're out. Like you restart your life and rebuild. But I didn't take an accountability of all the stuff that really did affect me while I was still in.
Mhm.
Until like I literally sat down at the VA and they started asking me these questions that I've been wanting somebody to ask me. She sat me down and she started asking me all these hard questions. And it was like I was allowed to sit down and just feel what she was asking me. And I
Mm.
started crying and I was
Yeah.
confused and I didn't know what was going on with me. Was this a panic attack? Was like, and the lady just sat there and gave me a hug. And I didn't even realize that I was going through all this. Like it just felt like my whole body just kind of like I needed it without me knowing that I needed it.
Yeah.
So it was really, really hard for me to when I got out because I just didn't know what to do. And I didn't have anybody to talk to besides my Viking.
Yeah.
And he was going through his own stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just dump everything on him. I mean, you could, but you can't because you can't fuck up him more with your issues. You have to go somewhere or implode.
And that's a good thing because that's the realization that I had. Who am I going to talk to about how I'm feeling?
Yeah.
You really can't trauma dump on your mom, your spouse, your kids.
Yeah.
You can't really like dump all this on anybody. So for me, it was like, this lady, I don't know you, you don't know me. And I was able to like tell her how I felt. And I feel
Mhm.
like I took out years out of my chest when I talked to her about it. But
Mm.
then I felt shitty inside because I felt like, why did I have to wait this long to talk to somebody? That was the first time I said, like, fuck, you know what? I am a bad bitch. How did anybody go through everything that I went through? Like my friend Kathy says, she was my toilet. I dumped it on her. Did I feel better? No. I felt sad for me because at this point I was like, who did I become? I wasn't like this. I was like so cheerful and happy and all these emotionals. And now I'm all changed and I don't even recognize who I am.
Yeah.
So with that said, just do you feel like your mind was still in the military mode after your body left? Because I know mine was.
Yeah. For the first year after I retired, I still worked with military side by side. I'm not really sure if that helped. Maybe it helped with, the grieving that some people do when they leave the military.
Mhm.
I don't know because I had already done 20 years. So for that first year, my mind was definitely still in the military. There were so many times that I had to bite my tongue and just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Because if people didn't know me, I was walking around in, a dress or whatever, my hair down, looking like a civilian. And if the airmen were acting crazy or whatever, I wanted to say, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Some of them I did, but also hypervigilance. That was still a thing. Fucking boxes. I forget what it was called. A stupid training. It was usually before we deployed too. They would do a real big emphasis on looking for boxes, like rando boxes that were near your vehicle or unmarked boxes or oily boxes or whatever.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
see that shit all over the place. Wherever the fuck I went, and I'm like, what the fuck is that box? I do
Yeah.
that shit at home too. I still have that ingrained in my head for a long time. I would still do certain military things. Like I had to have everything a certain way. Like I
Mhm.
was joking, not really joking about lines on the carpet or the way that I cut grass. I still can't get out of that. But those OCD things, there's certain things that I cannot break. That if it is not the way that it is supposed to be, quote unquote, it will tip me over the edge. But I also learned that I have to step back and let my son vacuum however he wants to vacuum. You know what? If he's gonna fucking vacuum for me, boy, go for it. You get it. Okay. There's some things that I had to let go of, but there are certain things that I cannot, and it like hurts me deep in my soul. And I will like just get this overwhelming tension until I almost, explode. And there have been moments, and I've told my husband, you have not seen me where I go full knife
Yep.
hand. And I don't want him to see me like that. But there are times when I'm like, just let me do it my way because if I don't know what's going to happen. So just please give me this.
Girl, I completely feel you. Like, I have stories with my husband, actually. When I first got out, it was like I had to rediscover who Diana was again, you know? So
Yeah.
we're at the mall. I needed to buy some clothes. And I told my husband, I'm going to the store. I got two, three outfits. There was a big ass line. Honestly, I was very like overwhelmed and I didn't know what was going on with me.
Yeah.
And Viking was sitting down outside because it was crowded. You know, he was doing the right thing. We were just getting out the military, so we were trying to figure out life. And somebody was sitting next to him and they left a bag in the seat.
Oh, hell.
Yes. So being in the military in that train that you were talking about, he freaking grabbed me. He was like, we gotta go. I'm just like, okay, what's going on? But he was like, bag, boom. He said two words. I understood. Told the lady, I don't need this anymore. We rolled out of there. We ran
Yeah.
so fast and we were just waiting for the news to say that something happened. But this is the shit that people don't talk about because you tell somebody about this. It's like, you're not in the military anymore. You're not, but you're trained 24/7. This is what you need to be looking at. This is what you need to do. So I completely get you with the whole boxes thing. I think this is the main reason why we left the city is because the constructions, people don't realize how much this shit really does affect veterans.
Yeah.
Because your mind
Mhm.
goes somewhere else. I'm like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
for me, those were hard. Also, like, girl, besides my craft room, I need to have my house like super clean. And I know you've called me out on this, damn, bitch, didn't you just clean yesterday? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm clean again. Because it's not like you're gonna come in and inspect my house with a white glove and shit like we had room inspection, but it's a mindset that for me is a big deal. Waking up early, like example today, woke up really early. I did a workout. I went grocery shopping before the whole podcast, and now before 10 o'clock in the morning, I've done all this stuff. Like, why do I have to do it? I'm not in the
Yeah.
military. Or I should give myself more grace, you know? And this is the part that
Mhm.
fucking people don't talk about. So now, with that being said, Jess, I'm gonna give you another question.
Ugh.
What part of civilian life affected your mental health the most? Because now you got out, you were in the military, it affected you. When we get out, it affects you. And then when you come into the civilian world, it really does affect us.
I think that's another loaded question because there's so many things about civilian life that I'm like almost cringy. The pace. Like when you were talking about being in a store and two people or a group of people are talking in the fucking aisleway and you're like, get the fuck out of the way, man. I'm in the grocery store. I don't want to be here and you're in my fucking way. Get the fuck out of the way. I just need to come in, get XYZ and get the fuck out. So that was one thing. And then dealing with medical care, mental health care, all of the care. That was another thing. It's totally different. The other part of mental health in the civilian life is having a dedicated therapist. That is one thing. For 5 years, I had the same therapist because I was in what's called the trauma recovery program. And I did all of the things. I did all of the therapies you could do CBT, CPT. The only thing that I did not do was EMDR, I think it's called. I'm not going to go in person to any of these motherfuckers. No, go fuck yourself. I actually got kicked out of the trauma recovery program because I had done everything, but I still have trauma to work through. But there's more veterans. So now I don't have a therapist. I am therapist free and it is fucking awful. But I do have a psychiatrist who's amazing. So the mental health care on the civilian side, especially the VA, overall, it's pitiful. For a couple years, I was passed around with psychiatrists. My therapist actually referred me to my current psychiatrist, and she's fucking amazing. Not only because she listens, but because she is like a holistic doctor. She's not like throwing the medicine cabinet at me. She doesn't do that, which is unusual for any kind of doctor. She listens to me. She wants to help. I do video calls with her. It's easier for her, it's easier for me. I had a panic attack while I was talking to her, and she, like, immediately went into almost like a military mode. I don't know that she was in the military before, but she has the drive, the determination, and the genuine desire to care for military members, for veterans. And that is very unusual. The people that I have dealt with at my VA hospital, a lot of them are just douches, like trying to collect a paycheck. And some of them are getting weeded out, but some of them are staying for the long haul. And that fucking sucks for us as veterans. So, continuing on with the civilian life and my mental health has declined. I was soft diagnosed with PTSD when I returned from deployment in 2012. And by soft, I mean I couldn't really be diagnosed because, like, I had a clearance, so it was a big fucking deal. It was in my records, but it was not like disseminated to everybody,
Yeah.
like leadership. So for 14 years, I've had PTSD. I've had panic attacks, blah, blah, blah. Now they are different. A couple days ago, I was at an appointment for physical therapy, and several things triggered me when I walked in, and I started ticking. And by that, I mean like twitching, facial movements, head movements. I texted my husband. I was like, hey, I'm ticking because I needed to get it out so that I could try to calm down. And then it just got exacerbated by just all the things that were happening. By the time I got to my physical therapist, I was stuttering. This is new within the past 6 months, maybe. So, ticking, now I'm stuttering. And these are leading up to a panic attack. Sometimes I can control it. And by control it, I mean I don't go into a full panic attack,
Yeah.
but it still lasts for hours, not just minutes. I got about 30 yards into what they call the gym at the physical therapy building. And I was trying to talk to my physical therapist. I couldn't get it out like this, but I was trying to say, "Hey, the black band that you gave me fucking sucks. I hated it." And she's laughing with me, trying to encourage me to try to get me out of the state that I was in. And I didn't even have time to get my service dog into position to give her a command to help me. And I said, fuck, 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 and just had a full out panic attack. They helped me. After that happened, they said, protocol says you have to go to the mental health building. Well, I have trauma from that. So I'm stuttering still because even after the panic attack, it doesn't go away. I
Yep.
still stutter for hours. I hum. It is a self-soothing thing that I do. I don't remember like what the tone is, but it is something that just happens. My husband said I actually did it in my sleep last week, I think it was, which is weird. So I had to go to the mental health building and I freaked out. I was trying to text my son and my husband, I don't want to go there because I don't want to be admitted. I didn't wanna be admitted because I'm having a panic attack. No, I couldn't control it, but my son or my husband, they're always with me. Whenever I basically leave my house, they drive me. They're always there with me just in case I have a panic attack. But my son went in with me to the mental health building, and thank you, baby bobcats. I had an amazing, incredible person that was on call for emergencies, for crisis, and that's what it was classified as. It was a crisis, and I was having a severe panic attack, which is funny because, like I told Diana, I considered my panic attacks to be normal. I never considered them to be severe. So the fact that this was put into my records, that was a big fucking deal because I didn't have anyone advocating for me before. I had an incredible nurse that was on call, and she said, my name is Ashley. I've been doing this for 10 years. She called to get my anxiety medicine. This is an additional, like, anxiety medicine. It's not my daily stuff. I started crying because I was overwhelmed and I couldn't speak. I could barely text her. And I was also trying to speak while I'm texting, which is stuttering. And it's funny because people play charades with me whenever I'm stuttering, and some people are better than others. So I'm trying to learn sign language so I can help them. um, I know "thank you" and I know "fuck you," but she said, "Baby, I'm not gonna send you upstairs because admitting you would be worse than sitting here trying to help you." And I cried again because she knew the place for me was not upstairs, that she could help me and that I would be okay. And my son was holding my hand and like his hand turned purple. It was funny. I can laugh about it, but it was not funny, when it happened. It's not funny when it happens because this is not an infrequent thing. It's fucking frequent and it's scary and it's something that I have to deal with as a civilian with PTSD. And this is why I'm so passionate about getting the message out there that mental health is important. You can't ignore it. You can't deny what you're going through. You can't hold it back and push it down and get rid of it. It doesn't go away. It manifests into something else. So please, if you are going through something, even if it's nothing like what I'm going through, we are bringing this message to you to help any and everyone that is going through any kind of struggles with mental health. And if you're a leader and you're not going through mental health struggles, but you see this in other people, the people that you lead, if you see that they are acting differently, if they're looking like they're terrified, there's a fucking reason.
Yep.
Because that's often the look that I have, that I am terrified because honestly, I don't have control of my body, my mind, anything when I have a panic attack. Again, I'm sharing this with all of you so you can be aware and hopefully help someone that needs your help.
I think this is an incredible story, Jess. But it is very
Mhm.
important to understand that because I had something completely opposite of what happened to you on Monday,
Yeah.
and we should talk about it. like you said, is really hard. And I completely agree with you to have a therapist that is constantly there. I know Karen also talked about this in one of the previous episodes that it's hard to click with the right person that is going
Yeah.
to take care of your mental health,
Yeah.
and it's good to advocate for yourself. You have to advocate for yourself. I know a lot of people say, oh, you got to be stuck with the same person. No, you don't. Think about your mental health like you're dating somebody. You need to
Yes.
find out what is right for you, what
Yeah.
works for you, who's there for you, all this.
Uh-huh.
If you find the wrong person, they're not going to help you out. They're going to make you feel worse.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, you have to advocate for yourself, whether you're in the military, whether you're a civilian, whether you're a veteran. This is very important and is a big deal. As for me, something as simple as going to the grocery store is really, really hard. And I'm gonna share you
Yeah.
this with you guys. I'm the kind of person that I'm always at home. I don't like the outside world. Not
Mhm.
because of whatever, but because I'm anxious all the time. I just want to be at home. I only feel safe when I'm around with my husband.
Yeah.
And I went on Monday to take some recycling bottles, some stuff like that. I been working with my therapist for a while now, and one of the things is like I have to go and do something in the outside world for me, just so I could feel normal and part of society again, which is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I went to the machine, whatever, and this machine kept breaking down. So I had about 5 people that I really didn't want to talk to because I was already frustrated come and help me. Inside, I was a hot mess. But in the outside, I looked calm. I kept on smiling because let's be honest, we as veterans put our mask on and pretend that everything's fine. The lady that was after me, she was having a hard time. Maybe she was in a hurry. I don't know. But she got really upset that the machine wasn't working. I thought I was doing something wrong. I was just like really freaking out. I was able to finally do it, but it took me about an hour and a half to do this whole recycling thing. And like Jess says, baby bobcats. It really, really irritated me. I was just like, I just want to throw this away. I don't give a fuck if I recycle. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to come out of my comfort zone to try to figure this shit out. And this machine is giving me such a hard time that I felt like I just wanted to give up. Like my day was shitty already. It was early in the morning. I didn't want to deal with this anymore. And I think that even though I was trying to be reasonable, saying like, machines are not always right, they could get messed up and stuff like that. But I think what was more irritating about me is that my PTSD was coming up. How could I explain that in the civilian world? I was at a public place, I was at Costco, everybody was staring at me, and all I could do was just grab a water bottle and just squeeze it so damn hard to try to get like my anger on that bottle instead of me like going crazy on somebody, you know?
And choking a motherfucker out.
Yes. So by this time, I had like 6 different people come and help me with this machine. And I was just struggling because I wanted to
Mhm.
grab that car, flip that shit upside down, leave a mess, and fucking leave. That's how I really felt in the inside. In the outside, I try to be calm and stuff like that. And then I'm just like thinking to myself, like, can you imagine if like these people think I'm crazy and I squeeze the bottle so tight that I put the mark of my nails just so I wouldn't let my frustration go. And this is the thing,
Yeah.
you look calm in the outside, you know how to do this shit, but in the inside, I was ready to run. Didn't care about those
Mhm.
bottles. Afterwards, I did call my husband and I'm laughing about it because this is my way of saying like,
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm going through a hard time. Check what happened to me." So at this
Yeah.
point, I'm interrupting him because he's at work. And, I don't know how to deal with it. And then how can you call a civilian person and say, hey, this is what's going through me? They're just going to tell me, oh, the machine is broken. It always happens because that's what the lady was saying. Everybody was around me saying this shit. And I'm just like, look, motherfuckers, if you tell me one more time, it is not my fault. That is the machine's fault. I'm going to just go crazy.
Mhm.
But I need to learn to control that. Going into the civilian life, I have an issue with control.
Yeah. Same.
And
Mhm.
that made me realize that that is one of my triggers. I cannot control everything. I was able to control everything in the supply room. I knew where everything was. My mess was my creation. I knew where everything was. And going into the civilian world, that is such a hard habit for me to break when things change. And then I feel like I have to over explain myself all the time. And I just get so angry about this. So this is why
Mhm.
I do say, like, I'm here talking all this good shit with everybody in this podcast and everything, but I struggle with it too. And this is the parts that people don't see the struggle. The reality is that I feel like we're all like this beautiful painting and we come across like those 30-second reels that I always talk about, like, my life is gorgeous. I am so cute. And but the reality is, like you said, we are broken a little bit inside. And it's hard to fucking deal with this day by day. And it's so funny because everybody thinks, oh my God, Diana, you're so positive. You have such a beautiful outlook in life. I really generally do. But there's days I just don't have any more energy. And I need to allow myself to really allow people to see me at my worst so they could finally understand how I really am. Because sometimes I'm not all happy. Sometimes I'm frustrated. Sometimes I'm fucking mad. And everybody just see the signs that like, hey, I'm happy all the time. Like, congratulations, oh my God, you're so awesome. You're so cool. I'm your biggest cheerleader. But the reality
Yeah,
is that I don't feel like this all the time.
yeah,
I get frustrated and I get mentally hurt. And sometimes I'm depressed. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. And this shit fucking sucks because this is the aftermath. It comes out in different ways. You feel lonely when
yeah.
people are around you. I feel that all the time.
Preach, sister.
Yes, girl. I miss the structure, but I don't miss the stress. When there's no
Yeah.
chaos, you feel anxious. I don't like crowds. But if you
Mm.
really think about it, it's all this stuff that happens through the military that we try to normalize when we get out, but we don't even know that all this shit was affecting us while we were still serving.
Mhm,
We get easily irritated.
mhm.
And this is the kicker. You know how hard it is to fucking relax after you get out the military?
Yeah. I relax when I'm on Percocet in the hospital.
Yes, a girl preach, like you say, like for real. Because you can't relax. You feel like you don't have a purpose, like you lost yourself. You feel like everybody's moving on, but you're still trying to just catch up because your
Yeah.
mind is somewhere else.
Mhm,
So that's just like the crazy reality of it that you need to have time to check your mental health in the civilian
mhm.
world. If you're a veteran, you need to do it. You're not weak if you ask for help. You're not being dramatic when you overreact because those are your feelings and you're allowed to have those feelings. And fucking so what if we're falling apart and there's a day or a week or a weekend that you take to fall apart? Allow yourself to fall apart because with that,
Yeah.
you learn to heal. And when you start healing, your life is going to change. You deserve to have more patience and to have the support that you need. And you deserve to talk about how you feel and how people make you feel.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, Jess, what does strong mean to you now?
Strong for me means the ability to say, "I need help," period. Because fuck it. That is probably the strongest statement someone could ever say.
I agree with you. For me, another one is saying no.
Yes.
For me, strong means sometimes just saying, no, I don't have time for you. Nope, I'm not doing it. No, I'm going to take some mental day off for me. And cool that you need me, but I need myself first. And putting myself first is a very, very strong statement. If we're not 100 for ourselves, we cannot be there for anybody else.
Exactly.
If we're running at a 0 and somebody gives us more shit, the truth is we can't handle it.
You're right.
So, have you ever felt guilty for needing support?
Yeah, I'm struggling with that right now. I mean, I've been struggling with it since I had my surgery 3 months ago because I've been so hyper dependent on my husband and my son to help me. Even like right now with my mental health, struggling so much with that, the support that I'm getting from my family makes me want to cry because I have never felt this loved, I don't want to have to depend on them, but I do depend on them. And it is a huge struggle in my brain. Like, why do you need help? One side of my brain is fighting with the other side of my brain because I'm this strong person. I'm independent. I need to be able to take care of myself always because I've been doing it for the past, you know, 30 plus years. And I'm saying 30 plus because I was not independent before my teens. It is a daily struggle just being able to let go and let someone else help me.
Girl, I totally agree with you. I think the crazy part is to tell someone like us, veterans, that you need to rest
Yeah.
or tell other women to take care of themselves. I tell you all the time, but I actually can't do it myself. And I think that's part of my mental issue is that I have enough time to sit down and think about all the negative parts of my life and dwell on it that I feel like I need to keep on going and doing stuff
Yeah.
instead of allowing my body to rest. My husband's very, very supportive with me and he knows when I'm tired and he made me understand that it's okay to rest. We need to stop thinking that just because we're resting, we're not being productive. Because honestly, we are. We're letting our body rest. Asking for help is not a bad thing. We should allow ourselves to ask for help. We help everybody else.
Mhm.
Why can't we help ourselves?
Yeah.
And we need to stop carrying all our issues alone.
Mhm.
Sometimes I write on a piece of paper and I burn it, but I wrote what I felt at the time because sometimes it will help you. We don't need to carry our burden by ourselves. It's okay for us to sit down and say, you know what, fuck it. Like, devil, not today. Today is my day. And allow yourself to feel how you feel. And who cares if anybody sees you? Who cares if you do break down like you did at the VA? It doesn't matter. Being able to be vulnerable and break down in the long run is going to help you heal. So I got a message for you, and it's really simple, ladies. Strength is not to pretend nothing hurts. It's not carrying everything alone. It's not being available for everybody while you're abandoning yourself. Real strength comes in being honest with yourself, in saying, I need help, in saying no, taking time to rest, telling people you need the support as well. And you can't do it all by yourself. If you need help, ask for it. That is not going to make you weak. It's going to make you a human being. So, to all the strong women listening, veterans, women still surviving, please remember you deserve to care for yourself. You deserve support as well. You deserve a safe place to fall apart and still be loved. Because being strong should not mean being alone. You have us now, too. All right. So we talked about saying I'm fine when we're not. We talked about mental health while serving. We talked about what happens after the military. But now I want to slow down because this is the heart of the episode. And I really want every woman listening to hear. You're not weak for getting help. You're not weak for being tired. Definitely not weak for struggling. You're not weak because your mind needs to rest. And you're not weak because you don't have to carry everything. Because the truth is that a lot of us women in the military, women in general, we are silently carrying things nobody sees. Stress, trauma, anxiety, depression, PTSD, burnout, family pressure, marriage issues, work pressure, and the pressure of just keep on going. At some point, our body says, girl, we need help. And we need to allow ourselves to get the help that we need. It's definitely not a failure. That is your body caring for you. Your mind saying, hey, I need to take a breather. It is your heart asking for the support that it needs. So let's heal together because we're not perfect. We need to be kind to ourselves as well. Some days you feel okay, and some days you don't. Asking for help makes you a brave woman.
Fuck yeah.
So, Jess, with all that being said, what do you wish someone had told you when you were struggling?
I wish someone would have just said, I see you. I see you can mean so many things.
Yes,
I see you struggling. I see you surviving. I see you thriving, on the days that I can thrive, but I see you. So many people saw what they wanted to see, what I let them see, all the different masks I had, but just authentically saying, I see you.
I see you is a good one. I think for me, sometimes it's not what people can say, it's what they can do for you. And sometimes I just think that when I'm struggling, I wish somebody would just give me a hug.
Fuck yeah.
And not said anything, just say a hug that made me realize that, I'm gonna be okay. I don't really like being touched, but sometimes I just
Same.
need that hug from that one person. They don't have to say anything, that they know I'm falling apart, but that hug just makes me feel like everything's going to be fine. You don't have to say anything. So, what do you want women veterans and women still serving to know about asking for help?
First of all, it is okay to ask for help. It is the strong thing to do for not only everyone around you, but for yourself. Also, one size does not fit all. Like you said earlier, you may not vibe with whoever the therapist happens to be. If you don't vibe with them, fuck them. Next, get somebody new. Not all types of therapy will work for you. Like I said, EMDR, that is not my jam. I do not want to do hypnosis. I didn't even like reliving my trauma. That was bullshit. But
I agree.
I will tell you, it was a little bit helpful, but not that much. So try it. If something doesn't work for you, you don't have to keep doing it. It's not one size fits all. Your trauma, your recovery is not going to be the same as the person sitting next to you. So just be true to yourself and advocate for yourself.
I agree with everything that you say, but I want them to know that asking for help, like you said, does not erase their strength. It doesn't erase their service, definitely doesn't erase everything you survived. And you can still be strong and still need support. You can be independent and still need somebody. You can be a veteran, a leader, a wife, a friend, a mom, a sister, a caregiver. You can still ask for help. Everybody's help because we're all human beings and we all need help.
Yep.
The real strength comes from us being honest, being able to ask for help, choosing how to heal, even when it feels so fucking uncomfortable. So if you're listening today and you're saying, I'm fine, when you're really not, ladies, please ask for help. Take time to rest, learn to heal in your own way because healing looks different for everybody. Allow yourself to be supported, no matter who the support comes from, as long as it's healthy. And remember, you're still strong. Just because you are struggling doesn't mean you're not strong. You need to choose yourself and you need to learn how to heal. You need to keep on trying, figure out what works for you. And remember, you matter. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with a woman veteran, a service member, a military spouse, or someone who needs to hear this. Take care of your mind, ladies. Take care of your heart. And remember, you're allowed to heal without apologizing for it because we're not perfect.
Baby, I'm trouble.